I know it's been a little while, but I'm telling you, things have just been busy and blessed. That's how I'll say it. Lots and lots going on. As you all know, all kinds of things going on in our world right now. And so one of the things that I'm doing just to take care of myself and take care of my family is just make sure that I'm prioritizing my time, putting first things first. And so you'll see me jumping out here when I have something to contribute and to put out here into our community. And so today I wanted to join you to complete a lock tag. I had it dropped in my comments where you all recommended it to me. And then I saw a video from Tykera Ann's channel where she posted the questions. And so I just wanted to walk you all through my particular lock journey and tell you all about my hair and what my experience has been like. Just to give you a little idea here, it doesn't help that I have on black, but we are at 2 years, 5 months. Yay! 2 years, 5 months. And things are progressing well for this curly girl with locks. All right, so let's jump in and see what we got. Number one, do you remember the specific moment you decided you were going to lock your hair? Where were you and how did you feel? I don't remember the specific moment that I decided to lock my hair. As you all have seen in my video intro, this is my second lock journey. My first lock journey was traditional locks, and I don't really remember either time a set moment, but I know that to me it represented freedom and it represented a lifestyle of your hair having its appropriate place in your time, and you know how much energy you're going to put into it. I needed a more freeing hairstyle, one where if I want to go swimming, if I want to walk in the rain and don't feel like pulling out my umbrella, you know, if I want to exercise regularly, I needed a hairstyle that was going to support the lifestyle that I wanted. And so I don't remember the specific situation, but I know that at the beginning of both of my lock journeys, my mindset was just, hey, don't feel like dedicating the same amount of time daily and weekly to my hair. And locks have just always been a very freeing experience for me, and it's always helped me to keep the amount of time I spend on my hair the right amount for a busy working mom. What method, if any, did you use to start your locks? With this lock journey, these are Sisterlocks, and so I met with a certified trainee with Sisterlocks, and I was one of her first 3 heads that she did for her first 3 installations as she was working on becoming a certified consultant. How old are your locks? This set is 2 years and 5 months. What is the length of your longest lock and shortest lock? Actually, y'all, I have no idea, and the effort that it would take for me to even figure that out, I'm not willing to do. So maybe what I'll do is in a future video, maybe for my 3-year anniversary or something, we can measure some locks. Do you have any locks that are especially unique, strange, or awesome? Not now. I had this one lock where it would consistently grow way longer than the other ones. It was very compressed and just long. It just grew longer than the ones around it, but I consistently trim it. I'll actually link to the video where I told you all a little bit about that particular lock, and you can actually see in that video how long that lock was in comparison to the ones around it. But no, here lately, when I see something that I don't really like, I just fix it myself. I have a lot of freedom with my hair, and I'm not nervous to just kind of do what I want with my hair. And so as a result, my hair, it's pretty even and consistent length going all the way around. How many locks do you currently have? I started my lock journey with 590 something. I think it was 591 is what I started with. And I've combined some, so I'm probably sitting at about 580 now. What shampoo or other products do you use on your locks? I am pretty simple. I started with the Sisterlocks starter shampoo. Then I transitioned over to using the Nevo detox shampoo. Once that started becoming hard for me to be able to locate and purchase, then I switched over to Neutrogena products. And so the one that I primarily use is the Neutrogena T-Sal, the one that's kind of clearish looking. Um, and you know, every once in a while I've used the Neutrogena T-Gel as well, the one that has the more tar smell that's kind of dark brown looking. But I mostly just use Neutrogena T-Sal. Do you have any regular maintenance on your locks? Now, if you mean maintenance as in consistently going to have it retightened, yes. I have my hair retightened, my Sisterlocks retightened every 6 weeks by my consultant. And other than that, no. I mean, I don't groom my locks. I know when I had traditional locks, I used to have my locks regularly groomed, where you would go up the shaft of the lock and just kind of trim loose hairs. I know there's a lot of energy about that in the lock community, whether or not that's the right thing to do. But I always did that with my locks, my traditional locks, and I never had any trouble with it. But with my Sisterlocks, no. I mean, other than me occasionally going in there and deciding, I don't really like, this, you know, part that looks like the piece in between it is so thin. So I'm gonna just kind of cut this little knot here or something. Hey, I've done that before, but that's not a regular and consistent thing for me. How often do you wash your locks? I wash my locks every 2 weeks. So I pretty much will wash my hair about 3 times, in between going in to have my hair retightened. What are your favorite beads or other decorations? I have some beautiful lock jewels. There is a lady named Tiffany. Tiffany's Lock Jewels is the name of her business. And I really have some beautiful pieces by her. My favorite is hematite. I just really like the look of it. I like that kind of pewter silver look. And I'm one of those ladies where my complexion, I have a cool complexion. I don't have the warmth in my complexion to be able to pull off gold. So I wear a lot of silver and white gold jewelry. And she has a beautiful cuff, a hematite cuff that I really like. And so I have a few of those. If your locks had their own personal motto, what would it be? I would just say, we are free. That would be my hair's motto. My hair doesn't like to be pulled up. It doesn't like to be manipulated much. I don't do a bunch of styling. You might see a twist out. You might see me put some rollers in it, curl it up every once in a while. But for the most part, my hair is like this. It's free. My hair, I'm tender-headed. My hair doesn't like to be messed with. And so I just leave it alone and it flourishes. It grows like you wouldn't believe, mostly because I just leave it alone. If you could start a new set of locks, would you do anything differently? No. As you all know, this is my second lock journey. So I had traditional locks first, and because I have thinner hair strands, I never really got the fullness that I had hoped for. Don't get me wrong, they were beautiful. I had a beautiful, beautiful set of traditional locks, if you ask me. Of course, I'm biased. But I never really had all that fullness, and what I wanted with Sisterlocks was just more opportunity for fullness, more styling versatility, and so I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't do anything different, and I don't intend on cutting these and starting another traditional lock journey or anything like that. I'm happy with what I have going on here. Is there anything else unique about your appearance other than locks? I have moles. I'm one of those I'm one of those sisters that comes from a mole family. I have moles. But other than that, no, not really. How many people do you know personally with locks? I know a lot of people with locks. I will link to the video so that you all can see where I interviewed my mom, who also has Sisterlocks. My nephew, who is a senior in high school right now, he has started his lock journey. He's coming up on a year. My brother-in-law has had locks for probably about 20 years now. His locks they probably come to the back of his knees when he lets his hair all the way down, which he doesn't do that often. He keeps it pulled up and in different styles, but his hair is extremely long. My sister, when I started my traditional lock journey, I started it with my sister. My sister and I did that together. And so my sister still has her traditional locks, and they're long. You know, they are about waist length. Um, that's where her locks are. So yeah, I know a lot of people. I have aunts. Pretty much anybody in my family who doesn't have locks has natural hair. So it's one or the other. And it's interesting because it wasn't always that way. All of us wore our hair relaxed. And I was the first one to big chop. And then the next thing you know, it's like it just spread like wildfire around the family. Everybody went natural. Everybody locked their hair. I just think we needed somebody to just try it so we could see it. Like, oh, okay. And then the next thing you know, everybody in the family had natural hair and locks. How have any employers turned you down for having locks? Have any wanted you because of your locks? No, I've never been turned down by an employer because of my locks. I will link to a video where I tell you what my thoughts are around locks and how when I first started, you know, my career journey coming out of college, how I intentionally braided my hair because I wanted to make sure that any employer that hired me knew what they were getting with me. I'm just one of those people where I have boundaries that I'm just not willing to cross. And for me, I'm going to look professional. I'm going to look, you know, reputable and respectable, but I'm not going to look the way that you necessarily need me to look in regards to my hair. If what you need is straight laid down hair, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I went natural when I was a senior in college, big chopped, and just never looked back. I was committed to loving my hair the way that it was, and that's it. So no, I've never been turned down by anyone as a result of my locks. And I've also never had anybody desire me for employment as a result of my locks. All of my employment opportunities have just been as a result of my qualifications and fit for the job. What's the weirdest question you've gotten about your locks? I've only had one person ask me, you know, are they twists, or, you know, what do you have going on with your hair? Like, how are you taking that down? I had one person ask me that, and I thought that was a little bit weird because naturally with a style, I mean, my gosh, look at this, y'all. There's 500 and what? Probably like 580 something locks on my head. There's no way that anybody is about to take the time to put this much of something in their head and then take it back down. So I thought that was an interesting question, but I wouldn't say it's dumb. That's just somebody that just didn't know. I would say my most common question is, where did you get your hair done? What is that? You know, those are the most common questions, which is totally normal and okay. Have you ever had a freak accident or an embarrassing moment involving your locks? I haven't had an embarrassing moment, but my freak accident was that I wasn't careful when I was zipping up one of my dresses, and I zipped off probably like the bottom 2 inches of a lock before, which is why I have a video out there where I was talking about some common things to keep in mind with locks, and I talked a lot about when you're zipping up things. So I will link to that so that you all can see that and get that information, because yeah, I zipped off the bottom, probably 2-3 inches of one of my locks before. Do you have any locked role models? If so, whom? I wouldn't say that I have any locked role models because I'm just really committed to exploring what works for me and what does my hair need. But I do have some lock like inspiration. I love, you know, and they're not all Sisterlock people. I love Britannia 7 and 1/8. I love Keisha Charmaine. I love Takara Ann. I just think that her personality is very fun and vibrant. Let's see. Those are the only people that are coming you know, just off the top of my head that I'm thinking of. But I will say that when I went on my lock journey, it was just about me. It was about my exploration of my hair. And so because of that, I look at other people to become inspired, but I just don't spend a lot of time focusing on them or what they're doing. I'm really just focused on what this is going to be for me. My mom, I meant to mention that. My mom, she's an inspiration for me in every area, not just hair. What locked YouTubers could you see yourself hanging out with in real life? I'm going to have to look up her name, and then I'm going to put her name here because I don't know it off the top of my head. But whenever I look at her, I'm like, she just seems like my kind of woman. I feel like I could hang out with her for real. Who am I going to tag? I don't know, y'all. I don't know who to tag. But what I will say is here's an open invitation. For many of us ladies, we are very, very interested in knowing what other people's journeys have been like. So if you're watching this video and you do have lots, get out here and tell us about it, because it's great to be able to hear one another's experiences and just kind of get the behind the scenes look into why are you locked and what is this journey about for you. So you'll notice that I've tagged some videos in the cards all throughout this one. I think this will be a great way for you all to get to know a little bit more about me and just my thoughts around locks and hair in general. And other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. I look forward to talking to you soon.